Welcome back to the channel. It's Jacob Jordan. And before we get into this video, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like this video. And make sure you share my videos to all your friends because they are a joy to watch. Now that we got all of the pleasantries out the way, I'm going to be straight and direct, like the Germans would like it. When it comes to football, because we know outside of football, Germany is thriving. But when it comes to football, Germany is a fallen dynasty. They no longer strike fear into the hearts of international fans everywhere. From your generation of very technical, astute, ruthless, mentally dominant players, we now have an embarrassing generation that loses to the likes of Slovakia. They're ranked 52 in the world, blood. 52. I had a parlay. And Germany was a part of that parlay. Because I was just thinking, it's Germany, it's Germany versus Slovakia. This is the easiest. This is free money. This is free money. You Germans owe me. You Germans owe me. Now let's talk about what we saw here today. This is an unprecedented historic loss. This marks the third consecutive competitive defeat following the Nation League losses to Portugal and France. I mean, let's just be honest. If you watch the game, you would know that today, Slovakia, they were disciplined, they were tactically sharp, and they were executing simple yet effective football. Sounds like how you would explain or how you would describe German football, does it not? Does it not? I'm not even a fan. I'm not even a fan of Germany like that because I remember in the 2010 World Cup when Frank Lampard scored the equalizer, you guys robbed him. One of the major reasons VAR was implemented into the game was because of that robbery. The amazing acting from Manuel Neuer. I remember that same German team as well going on to desecrate and destroy England 4-1. And then they gave Argentina 4. And they didn't fail to give Australia 4. They were pimp slapping and disrespecting every national team they came across in 2010. And then they said, oh yeah? You thought we were finished? Let's not forget what they did to Brazil in their own country in 2014. A piece of me died that day because I always vote and I always back Brazil in the World Cup because it's tradition. It's just family tradition. When you're in the Caribbean, you everyone in the Caribbean backs Brazil because the Caribbean islands very small. You're not gonna get amazing football talent coming out of your country good enough to go deep into the World Cup. So we just back Brazil. We consider Brazil our neighbors. No respect that German team had. Rootless, emotionless, simple yet destructive, potent and clinical. But what we have here today is none of these things. And you can hear it in how Nagelsmann criticized his team. He slammed the team's lack of emotional intensity, fighting spirit, and he suggested that the dedication that would trump technical skill moving forward. So what he's basically trying to say is this team has no backbone. They are lacking in the mental department. There's no Tony Kroos. There's no Thomas Muller anymore. There's definitely not any close. Oh my goodness, closer. Closer is, in his essence, as a striker, the definition of German football. You present a weakness, I take advantage, I dominate, I score, we win. It's that simple when it comes to Miroslav Klose. Now we're stuck with players when I watch Germany like Walter Mata, Serge Gnabry in the big 2025. Florian Wirtz, what is wrong with you? I don't know what's happened to Florian Wirtz ever since he's made his move to Liverpool, but this guy is not the same player, man. You can see Florian Wirtz, Florida Wirtz is struggling. Struggling. And here's the funny thing. Normally I would say take time, give him time. But it's absolutely ironic because we have players like Tony Kroos, who he doesn't believe in giving players time. He is one of those players that believe if you're a professional player getting paid millions of dollars a year, you have to come in and deliver the goods right away. It's very ironic that he's that type of personality, and all of the attitude and words he had that he did not mince for Jude Bellingham when he made his move to Real Madrid. I do not see him coming out and bashing Florian Wirtz. I don't see Tony Kroos coming out and holding Wirtz to the same standards he holds other international players to, like a Hazard when he came to Real Madrid, like a Jude Bellingham when he first came to Real Madrid. He seems very silent. Even though Florian Wirtz is not a Real Madrid player, he still plays for your national team. Let's pull up football. Let's look at the scores. Not one good performance from any of the German players. With Jamal Musiala out, this team is toothless. Not rootless, but toothless. It's clear that Musiala is, without a doubt, Germany's best player. That superstar that they can rely on to produce moments of magic that will be needed going forward if this team is to go deep in any big international competition. And if they cannot rely on Musiala, we see that Germany they don't know what to do. Florian Wirtz is obviously going through a rough patch of form, and I'm not gonna jump the gun and say, oh, he's fallen off, he's washed up. It's only the first 2 months of the new season. I'm willing to give him time. But this is where we come back to that Tony Kroos conversation. Does he deserve time? if we are to hold him to the standards of a German legend, a World Cup winner, a man who's completed football. We could talk about his miscontrol in midfield that led directly to Hanko's, aka Sterlich's opener. We could talk about that. We could talk about his lack of leadership when the team is looking down. He doesn't take initiative as the best player, the best German player on that pitch, to take the game by the scruff of his neck, of its neck, and make things happen. Like I said, that's Jamal. But the funny thing is, whenever Germany is doing good, when Jamal's there, everyone love to gloss over Jamal's performances for the most part, and they like to highlight words. They like to make words seem like he's the best player. He's not your best player, Germany. It's time you open your eyes. Use your ogen. Now, I want to talk about his form. Do you guys think, because I don't want to jump the gun, do you think this is a trend or do you think it's just bad luck? Because I don't think he's been justifying all this hype we've been hearing about Florian Wirtz. He doesn't look like the same player I saw in Bayer Leverkusen. And when he was in Bayer Leverkusen, when we see him in international tournaments, he would look like the Bayer Leverkusen Wirtz. Do you think that Liverpool is getting a version of Wirtz that thrives or an overrated echo? Let me know in the comments. Because if you're going to be the talismanic 10 for a gigantic club like Liverpool, that's a position that's going to demand a very high level of consistency. And let's not even get started about Germany. Let's not get started about Germany. His form is not matching his status, and if this continues, he might be literally the most expensive flop in Premier League history. Monsieur Wetz created the most chances in the match with 4, but he also lost the most goals in the match with 8. We can go through the stats. 79% accurate passes, not bad. Shots on target, only 1 shot on target. 1 successful dribble. Accurate crosses. Ground duels 1. If I'm Germany, and if I'm a fan of German football, this is where you begin to start worrying. Because if we look on the history of Germany, we know Germany to always been a country that produces some very good technical players that perform on the highest level, and they always have had a deadly, effective, potent striker. Whether it's Klose, whether it's Draxler. I know a lot of people don't look at Julian Draxler as that guy, but he was that guy. Let's be honest. His career took a huge hit due to the moves he made. I mean, even a Mario Gomez. Let's be honest. Even Mario Gomez can come in and do a job. Whether it's at the 9, or on the wing, one of the wings. Now, I don't want to jump the gun too quick because it's only the first match. And this is a great eye opener for the Germans to really pull up their socks and really start to get going. But this is a huge red flag that needs to be addressed. And now the whole of Germany will be looking at this next game with some serious concentration on those positions. Your striker, is Walter Maida taking his chances? Is Walter Maida adding to the team? Doing his job as a striker? Depending on whatever his profile is worth when the team is looking down and the momentum is looking down, when he gets his chances at the ball, is he producing moments of brilliance that can help take the team over the line? These things need to be addressed. Germany, all eyes are on you. What are you gonna do about it?